Good morning and welcome to this HTML5 course. In this first chapter, we will talk about the introduction. We will see what one can do with HTML5. We will make a first HTML5 project. Then we will test it on our cell phone. We will create a virtual reality experience and we will finish our first mobile application. First of all, what can we do with HTML5? You can create your website or applications. In applications, we have two types of applications: progressive web applications and native web applications. So progressive web applications appear to the user in the same way as a mobile application. That is to say that it will adapt to your phone or your tablet in the same way as if you had downloaded an app on the App Store or Android Store. Native web application, it's a mobile application developed especially for one of the operating systems used by smartphones and tablets. That is to say, iOS, Android, etc. So, our first HTML5 project. So for this project and to avoid having to download anything on your machine, we will use HTML.online code. This is where we will code our HTML5. So you can see that we already have 4 lines of code. The first one is the doc type. Every HTML page will always start with a doc type. You have on the second line the metal charset. So here we'll define the character if you don't put it. If you, for example, imagine having the accents not displayed correctly or the special characters or the emojis. So the first line you have the title of your page, and the fourth line will define if the page content is optimized for mobile. So we will then have at the top in the blue navigation bar 4 small tabs, including a Save and Run tab. So here it helps you save your changes and you will see your changes displayed in the white boxed area just to the right. So we're going to start writing, for example, a title. For this I'm going to need to use a tag. So I'm going to come and open my tag. The title is writing. H1, tag the biggest title and most important. I'm going to put my travel log, title, and we're going to save. I have write my result, so I have my title travel log. Then I will come to put a second title as a subtitle. For that, I will open a tag and I will put a H2. So I'm going to put a list of countries, for example, that I would have visited, so list of visited countries. And so to write a list in HTML5, we use the UL tag. Inside we will use the LI tag to list, and there I will be able to put several countries. Like Argentina. I can put Brazil. Colombia. US. France. And Italy. I'm going to register the list of registered countries. I can also put an image. So we'll put a title and we will put image gallery. So to reflect an image, it's enough to display an image. It's enough to use the tag img. We'll put the source and we'll put the name of the picture that we want to use. So here we'll put photo.jpg. And you can see that if we save the changes, I now have my image. So it's a little large. We can very well modify the size by using the width, simply 100 of its size. So if I save, you see that my image is very well adapted. We can very well use a GIF, so we will do the same thing, and we will use a GIF rather than a JPEG image. I'm also going to resize it to 100, and I'm going to close my tag and save the changes I've made. So you can see now that I have my GIF. So if you ever want to see the resource available, just click on her little tab here to do help, and you'll see the list of resources that are available. So for example, we use photo.jpg and animation.gif. So we can also see that we can zoom in. If you ever need to zoom in on your code page or zoom out, I can very well come and enlarge or shrink my results page, and you see that its content adapts to its size. Okay, so now we're going to copy and paste our code. So you do a copy, and we will do a new project. In your little blue tabs, so you click on new project. We put OK, and then we have a new project that opens, which is much more complex. You see that we have an HTML file, a JavaScript file, a CSS file, and a GIF file. So we're going to copy the code that we had before. So you delete that and paste the code that we just made. You see that at the end we have links. So it has to load external files. We'll just move them to the top like that. So it's not obligatory. It's just a little easier to read. So we see. So here we have our JavaScript file, and here our file is our CSS file will allow us to add style to our page. So for that we'll open the body tag, and we'll come, for example, to change the color of our seat. Let's say if I put color yellow and I save, you see now that my site, all the ratings have become yellow. Well, it's not that, but for example, if we will put background color, there it will come to change our background. You see, it's really easier. Then to add, for example, a video, so we will put a title, HU, and we call it simply video, and there we will open a tag. We'll put the source. So our source is video.mp4. We will define a size. We will put, for example, 300. and a height that we'll define to 200. And we'll put therefore the small controls. So there, if I say the changes, you see now in my result page we have our small video with our controls. I have my video scrolling and I can pause it. Create a virtual reality experience with HTML5. We are now going to put a panorama, so of virtual reality. For that, we're going to use a script tag. Which is called a frame. So you type a frame.js. And just below your h1 title, we're going to put a h2 title. And we will simply call it panorama. Then we will open the tag ascend. We will put an attribute and we will define a size and therefore a width and a height. We write width, then we will put a 100% and a height of 300 pixels, for example. We close our tag and inside we open a tag, a sky. And we put our source, so we will be pan.jpg. And I close my tag. I can now save the changes and you can see that I have a panorama. And that with my cursor I can look at 360 from one side or the other. You can do this with your phone by moving your phone, and you will see that the image scrolls from left to right, depending on the angle of your phone. You also have the small logo of the virtual glasses, so by clicking on it you can see that with your virtual reality glasses you can very well visualize this panorama. So now we're going to add links, for example, of contact or social networks at the end of our page. So for that, we're going to put a small title, H2, and we're going to simply put contacts and social networks. So, social network. I'm going to come to put a first link. For that, we are going to use the tag A and H or EF to put another link. So there, for example, let's imagine that we want to put our Twitter. So it would be twitter.com/nickname. We'll put, for example, dev, and so there we will come to put arrobas dev. But it's your nickname. You can put what you want. Then we will put a second link, for example, for our phone number. Then we will write our number, for example, 07. Well, here is not my number. I put a random number. We will put call me. So there it will activate the call of your phone. Whether it is an Android or an Apple, it will activate the call of your phone. Then we will add a tag, for example, for the WhatsApp, if you use WhatsApp. So we put WhatsApp send text. And there we will say, for example, look at my travel. And we will send a small message, send via WhatsApp. And like that, we will send this message to your contacts and to the people you will have selected via WhatsApp. Now if I come to save these changes, you can see that at the bottom of the page, my little links are displayed at the bottom of the page. We can also add a sound, so now an audio, on her GIF. So for that we will add on unclick, and we will tell him speak in this way. When we click on our GIF, an audio will be generated. For example, to give the description of the GIF. So there, we will come in our script file.js and we will write our function. So we call it speak. And we will define a variable called voice, which will be equal to new speech. So it will be the default speech sentences utterance. Then voice.text is equal, and we will write the message we want to hear. For example, this is the shoreline at Shanghai. So speech synthesis point speak voice. So if I save the modifications and I come to click on my GIF, we have well job.